wasi na 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 ne na na sami shema jamya wasire no soa na se wasisire bi petri wodwan no bia metumi bono mekunu meje ne free na no eti nyame ya wadi machi kwase raso no wadi manima gori yati ya
odi mechi mira okame home Obo mechi domda, odi mechi, okame home, obo mechi domda.
Anunti,
Yesu ti metrimu ya mi do. Menyo chana ni medidi yo.
Dabi, ashami bosa obeje jure me ho.
Wasuwa meni suwe nyina. Yesu ti metrimu ya mi do. Menyo chana ni medidi yo.
Ashami bosa obeje jure me ho.
Wasuwa meni suwe nyina. Eyeme, eni jese, mi yo Kristo ni.
Mi yo Kristo.
Eyeme, eni je preserve.
Eyeme, eni Jesus.
Mi yo Kristo ni.
Mi yo Kristo ni.
Eyeme, eni je preserve. Mi ye Yesu di. Yesu na wafura mi se. Memra me sumno. Yesu na wafura mi se. Memra me yenedi. Yesu na wafura mi se. Memra me sumno. Yesu na wafura mi se. Memra me yenedi. Odi odo ajimio. Yanum watu ninsa fremio. Odi odo ajimio. Se memra me yenedi. Odi odo ajimio. Yanum watu ninsa fremio. Odi odo ajimio. Se memra me yenedi.
Nanka misumu.
Yanum watu ninsa fremio.
Nanka mi bon chechede. Miyasi ya monti yeso. Nanka mi wasumu. Metisumu o. Metisumu. Nanka mi bon chechede. Miyasi ya monti yeso. Nensu Yesu waduma rakwanti. Nedi ema. Waduma rakwanti. Nedi ema jan pamusain. Enunti. Eyemi eni Jesus.
Mi yo Kristo ni.
Mi yo Kristo ni.
Eyemi eni je pise mi ye Yesu di. Eyemi eni Jesus. Mi yo Kristo ni. Eyemi eni je pise mi ye Yesu di.
Semi jene mi kaniya brabonu wa. Ayana mi
Safrumio.
Afure me free boni sumio. Demi bani kwa ihani mu. Semi jene mi kaniya brabonu wa. Ayana mi huni ya mikao. Afure me free boni sumio. Demi bani kwa ihani mu. Ene wa mami yeneji. Mami ya muto. Mami ya neni da suwa bisa. Semi wuna semi uwo. Nijini mu wadabi. Benya ni miya fula kufumu. Ene wa
Odiodo, Ajimi, Emianum, Watuni, Safremio, Odiodo, Ajimi, Zemmeramayeni, Eyemi, Enijise, Niyo Christo ni, Eyemi, Eniji Epise, Miye Yesu di, Eyemi, Enijise, Niyo Christo ni, Eyemi, Eniji Epise, Miye Yesu di. Odiodo, Ajimi, Emianum, Watuni, Safremio, Odiodo, Ajimi, Zemmeramayeni, 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 Eyemi, Enijise, Niyo Christo ni, Eyemi, Eniji Epise, Miye Yesu di. Odiodo, Ajimi, Emianum, Watuni, Safremio, Odiodo, Ajimi, Zemmeramayeni di. Odiodo, Ajimi, Emianum, Watuni, Safremio, Odiodo, Ajimi, Zemmeramayeni di. Odiodo, Ajimi, Emianum, Watuni, Safremio, Odiodo, Ajimi, Zemmeramayeni di. Obeni, maji kwano doyo, mintu minti asio. Odobeni, oh maji kwano doyo, mintu minti asio. Don't cross me po, don't know to rest in sasi, nyina maji kwano yo, me too, ya ekayeti mafoma upon Putrono, Wankaso, Wamuo, Kosini Womuo, da ekayeti mafoma upon Sutrono, Wankaso, Wamuo, Kosini Womuo, Wine Benya, Wine Ubenya sa odo ibio. Se ordini kira betu ama otrinini au ubiere ni ho au ubiere ni ho au ubiere ni ho ajise Yesu nkoa au ubiere ni ho au ubiere ni ho au ubiere ni ho ajise Yesu nkoa mayino do ibio mayino do ibio mayino do ibio udon kuneya ye mayino do ibio mayino do ibio mayino do ibio udon kuneya ye mayen mayino do ibio papa mayino do ibio odo ni abutre ni edi ayewe juma odo ni abutre ni edi ayewe juma.
Amen. Yes, you are saying. Yamin Shamu. Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening to those of you here and those of us online too. Good evening. You're welcome to this evening's program. Yesterday we learned about how to keep our hearts healthy. Yes. Today we'll learn about the bitter truth about sugar. So it will not take much of your time. We would call on our sister Cassandra Abna Aduma to give us a song just before Doctor comes online.
Amen. Dana onyamin to minye. Dana ejanun to minyo. O to me nante aposo. Edena broswa. Ejanun to minyo. Dana onyamin to minye. Dana ejanun to minyo. O to me nante aposo. Edena broswa. Ejanun to minyo. Kai Job, Kai Paul, Kai Hanan Soshano, Nehuse, Odieno ye kids webi. Kai Daniel Soshan so, Fawodieno to. Bobe Husenya mi betumya yo. Oh, denkra neso sing sanyami ede nebro swa ejanun to minyo. Oh, yo nyamya strunya sasira. Nya kasa adingi na yekom no. Denkra nesu sing sanyami edeng nebro swa ejanun to minyo. Kai Job, Kai Paul, Kai Daniel Soshano Nehuse Wodieno ye kids webi. Kai Hana Soshan so Wodieno to. Wobe Hunsenya mi betumya yo. Oh, denkra nesu sing sanyami edeng nebro swa ejanun to minyo. Oh, denkra nesu sing sanyami edeng nebro swa ejanun to minyo. Amen.
Amen. Cassandra, God bless you. Ampa edene ebro nyankopon so a ontumi nye. Otumi ade nyina ye. Cassandra, God bless you again. Just before we hear the voice of Dr. Yeboah, I'll call on Elder Boydo to come and pray as we start this evening's program.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for opportunity for this program. We commit Dr. Paul Yeboah to thy care. He has so many experience and wisdom, and he don't want to be at waste. He wants us to share together. Please, we pray that you gather your people all over the world to listen to him and put this into practice that will help us. Ohom kronkron eboaboa edomo no ema womti wa asem a ewie peye no ye stress ha kronkron se emwa domo no obi biara nso obeti eni onfanye adwuma se yare mpu ene wono so a esere urade sane yare mayen odiyefo kese Ujuma mpɔmpɔn so a wotama wa abadeɛ baako asafo yi nko ara na ɛwɔ. Sɛ yɛtumi kyerɛkyerɛ apɔmuden sɛnea Onyankopɔn wɔhwehwɛ. Ɛdɔm yi, yɛbie ɛpono no, ɔsoro ɛne yɛn mmɛkasa. Ɔsoro ɛmfa dɔkta mu ne yɛn nkasa. Yɛwie nkonimdi mu a ampa yɛde ayɛyie aseda ɛnto ni kabiama wo. Yɛdo ase sɛ ɛfisɛ ebisa wei ne adom pii wɔ Awurade pa Kristo Yesu din mu nti. Amen.
Elder Paul Yeboah, good evening from Ghana.
Good evening. It's me, Frasia.
Yes. Pacho to me, thank you.
I'm once a baby. And the boy does memoajo, and there was it. We have known each other for a long time. I think I owe you an apology for yesterday in AC, and we had a water problem. So I asked the technicians to come home and check the internet and everything, and requested for the highest one for this week. They rebooted and gave me a different channel. So when I went to share the screen, there was nothing to share. It wasn't an easy incident for me, but thank God we were able to worship freely. The leadership has asked me to briefly review the COVID. Just last week, we sent 2 of our church leaders to a meeting in another state. Both of them came home with the COVID. Nyankasa, I'm recovering from my second one. First one, it me pa maybe Fafri Ghana a year. Legon church elder Paini Esiama Kwaku. Oba me to home me more mask. Was a Paini example when now was sati. Why, if you want, we now to Hakwa, walk on the Kamukofa mask brand. A year chair more metinary promo by me by a pa, a hropa meti a bit bucket in frinfing. I almost died. Na near Muhuna Fidiesui, 7-day Adventist doctor sir. One my dress Sukoya Diamun. And a day Sadi by Nansaya seminar. One traces for iodine, 1%, and diluted to 1%. Please listen, 1%. You can dip a Q-tip and clean your nose, and then gargle with the iodine 1%, povidone iodine. You do that to reduce the viral load, the infection, as a preventive measures. Then, if you test positive for this disease, you can bump up your vitamin D to 15,000 international units a day. Normally, you would take about 5. But when you test positive, you can increase it, the dosage. The same as vitamin C, you need them. There is zinc missing on this chart. But zinc is the only medicine on the earth that can stop cell replication. When the virus gets into your system, it tricks the body to say, oh, I'm your friend. Can I stay in here with you? They will enter the cell and convince the cell to make baby COVIDs. And then the cell will burst open and release millions of baby COVIDs to go and find their own cell and infect. Akakadro, anase zinc is the only thing that will prevent cell replication. NAC, N-acetyl-cysteine, 600 milligrams a day, very, very, very effective. My Institute uses that to treat most of their patients, and they have good success. Then quercetin with bromelain, also 500 milligrams a day. Turmeric has also been found to be effective. Not again. Olive leaf extracts and all that, and then reduce stress. This disease is highly infectious. When I came from Ghana and tested positive, my son walked into the room. I said, son, I have a lot of the testing equipment in my house. I've tested positive to the COVID, so go out of the room. Just that few 1 or 2 minutes in my room, he came down with it. The second time I got the infection, I went to Weimar Institute to visit a friend. Knock at the door, he opened. I walked in, I said, where is your wife? He says, I have the COVID. She has moved away from the house. I said, well, let me go to my car and get my mask. I came home infected. It is highly infectious, so we need to take all the precautions, especially if we go to a public where somebody is sneezing. If you get in an elevator, somebody sneezes, 3 hours later, if you enter the same elevator, you see some of the viruses floating in the air. They can infect you through your eyes, through your mouth, and through your nose. These are actual pictures when somebody sneezes or coughs. How far? At least 12 feet away. So the 6 feet is not that enough, especially with the small viruses, but something is better than nothing. This is a picture of 10 people in a room. One of them coughed. And within few minutes, it has spread to several people. These yellow areas are all infected. Leave it for most of the day, and everybody who enters the room will be infected. This disease is highly infectious, so protect yourself, especially sneezing or singing in the church. As much as you can, try and protect yourself and contain yourself by not infecting people. Sneezing is the easiest, the most common. Coughing and sinking about the same. And then talking will also, even a teacher instructing a student cannot easily infect the students. All these people on this side, the left side of the picture, are infected patients. If someone is infected and doesn't wear the mask, you have 70% chance. And even if you wear the mask, 70% chance of being infected. So when you're infected, no wear mask. Chances is reduced from 100% to only 5%. Mask no important, so we call public. And so no will be no mask. Now so will be now mask. 1.5% chance. Yes, you be taking precautions. Obo mask na na motion. Tighten so the woman. Now even that in a way of the best form of protection, N95 mask. Only 5% infection, they can get it through this one. The idea virus no roam or 3 main places here, or bacro, a ACE receptors in a lungs, or heart, and our kidney. A honor one many sayade sound power coha. Was here, Mayor Wadanfo, Mama Sammy Bayafi. Shrink the body, no, I have on some idea to take you in. ACE receptors maybe were longsome. Oh, bobble now mubu. I dare bet you now, Nana Hono. She average now and I would the shampoo ye. In the same way, as a virus no enter the body, no call ACE receptors in our lungs and damage the lung. Lung gonna send a message, cytokine, to the rest of the cells in our lungs and say, yapra, but don't swell, don't secrete any fluid. And yes, I to me exchange oxygen, papa. So long way, yeah, we motion with the 2 microscope was here, it is a grapes, a viola and kitten. A whole oxygen exchange may take place. A viola and yadron, hey, oxygen get into this. Now, fahase, ako all parts of the cells. Since you beginamu and timin crosses you no papa, when you accused respiratory distress syndrome, yeah, dear friend ARDS. But I hear worse. Over here now, viola and she I say, I feel Nipano or Homini, no, I yet. Cynthia Bannerson. So we are vitamin D deficient. Message no call from lungs to naka cancer viola and some swell and I'm so you're vitamin D deficient and the message is transmitted the opposite direction. Go ahead and swell. And until a nipa yadia kumunina. Majority near vitamin D deficient. Not Ushe SARS statistics here, it's an old one there. One ma COVID in Chicago, 72% near black people, he said. In the winter times, or most of the time, 82% of all black people are deficient. Or Ghana there, a reatime ball. Now cholesterol not converted a Viana ball or not ultraviolet rays into vitamin D. Over high Viamo, the 82% of all black people are Waburuchiraha, England, Sweden, are all deficient in vitamin D. And because of that, Yadiano Kumiye papa. So do not be vitamin D deficient, even in Ghana. This study was done in England, their public health. About 42% of the US population is vitamin D deficient. However, the rate rises to 82% in Black people and 70% in Hispanics. So even in Ghana, sometimes you can be vitamin D deficient. Sweden did the same study, 1% and before, especially Somalia for. Only comorbidities, they don't have any of these. Fat people, diabetes, and yet most of the people who died are all Somalians in Sweden. The darker your skin, the less the ultraviolet rays that you can absorb from the sun. And the sun, of course, the lighter ones get away with it. Not only that, the Somalians in Sweden, and one faith in it. For manage one who's a nanika crena yabono. It is important to expose your head, your neck, and your chest to the sunlight 15 minutes every single day. You will absorb enough vitamin D or ultraviolet rays to convert to enough vitamin D. In Europe, countries are warm, D deficient. Those countries are because of fish, they do not have that. The first thing is a drugstore, which kill vitamin D, lower, replace it. Vitamin D does a lot to improve the immune system. These are articles that have scientific articles that confirm they are making, you can Google and research those things. So yadeɛ no ba bɛto so so bɔ mmɔden sɛ wobɛtake precautions ntɛm. Ɛfiri sɛ yɛyɛ bonsam yadeɛ. Wobɛnya ahoɔden koraa nso ɛbɛtumi agya nsonsoasoɔ ma wo breathing a wanhwɛ yi a wobɛfa adeɛ nti ɛyɛ important sɛ wobɛpono aduro. Me deɛ first one no baeɛ no mete ahorɔ nko a ɛyɛ akɔbɔ kiti mfimfini. He said the best thing that these viruses do is to secrete a crazy glue, very thick glue, to block your airway and to destroy your lungs, fibrosis. You have to do inhalation continually. One of the blocks in the basic was one of the block where inhalation, steam inhalation, 3 or 4 times a day. Now clear blocks, Senia wunya residual damage. There are many people who don't die from the disease, but for the rest of their lives, they have residual damage. If you look at this airways, the trachea going to the lungs, left lungs and right lungs, they enter the lungs through these holes, left and right. That is what kills most people. The virus tries to block the exit. These are the ways. Gradually, they will secrete crazy glue to block your airways. You get to this point, you're dead. You can't breathe well. So the best thing to do is to do the steam inhalation. Hospital is not the answer. They don't have any medicine there to treat you. Over-the-counter drugs that we went through will help you recover from the disease more and isolate yourself. If you go to the hospital, the only thing they can do is to make you comfortable until your own immune system makes you well. You can stay home, isolate yourself, and get well as quickly as possible. Today, our topic is sugar, the bitter truth. This title was borrowed from Dr. Robert Lustig, Southern California. He's done more work on sugar, the dangers of sugar. And so I borrowed most of his material and the title for this evening's discussion. Ellen G. White, also under inspiration in Otsego, Michigan, wrote in the book, Counsels on Diets and Food, page 328, paragraph 2. She said, from the light given me, sugar, when largely eaten, is more injurious than meat. Then goes on to say, I will prefer you to eat meat than to eat sugar. Some of us are vegetarians, but we consume so much sugar. And Ellen G. White says, I'd rather prefer you to eat meat than to eat sugar, because when you eat sugar more, it is far more dangerous. What do we mean when we say sugar? Let us divide sugars into two. The sugars that are present in fruits, like banana, watermelon, pineapple, and the rest. They are sugars too. But tonight, I'm going to concentrate on refined or processed sugars that have been taken out of the fruit medium and process it. These are some of the ones you're looking at. Agave, honey, Coca-Cola, all kinds of products, syrups, molasses. These are all the sugars that I'm going to refer to most of today. The companies that make our foods or prepare our foods oftentimes will give a big reward to anybody who can come up with a better name for sugar so that they can put it on the label to hide their intention to make you know that there is no sugar in it. They will write things like sugar, glucose, maltose, honey, brown sugar, molasses, fructose, natural, real fruits, all kinds of names just to hide this danger from the public so that public will buy more sugar. The normal amount of sugar circulating in the blood at any given time is 4 grams, just 1 teaspoonful a day. As the blood is circulating through the vessels, perfect health depends on perfect circulation. Only 4 grams of sugar, 1 table teaspoonful. We take in 52 teaspoonful of sugar a day. World Health Organization recommends not more than 10% of our calories should come from sugar source. So 3 teaspoons for children, 6 teaspoonfuls for women, and 9 for men. And this is far too much. And instead of consuming 9, we consume an average of 57 pounds a year. And this is how much sugar in a week. Mostly, we get our sugar, the excess sugar from the soft drinks. This is 40 grams for 1 Coca-Cola can. Most of the soft drinks are responsible for the sugars that we're eating. The reason is that they have well-trained people who will do the bliss test. How much sugar should I put in this bread, this soup, this cornflakes that people would like to taste? These are specialized people who test these things so that it will taste good for more people to buy, not because it's healthy or not. Also, sugar has some addictive properties. Studies was done. If monkeys be, they don't go caging, they want food, come the one mamunko did ha, they want sex, they can have it for free. They want sugar, especially fructose. And the chine one comes, the moment you really see one, you would think it's a common one, they will rather go to the sugar because they are addicted to it. The addictive property is very high indeed. All the soft drinks, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, they use this method. Soft drinks, beer, mobile contains caffeine, which is a stimulant. And this stimulant is diuretic. Ebama wako junso bebre, wunum Coca-Cola or whatever. A sour contains 55 milligrams of salt. Coca-Cola. Now the Chinese to Coca-Cola moyeden and the one with the sugar are foreign to cover the salt. The reason is that because of the high salt content, wunum Coca-Cola, ubajunso says here. In order for you to feel thirsty, they know exactly what they are doing. All the soft drinks, we say orange pay woman and 2%. Fructose. The new drinks are coming out more and more and more. Nina a sugar. Now, you have heard the dangers of this. Even fresh fruits are one of squeezing in one add tobacco restaurant, they say fresh fruits, fructose in sugar situation. So for 1 glass of orange juice, sucrose a woman. There are 2 molecules. Fructose, cocoa, and a glucose. Glucose no dear. So become the noa. He looks so weak. When you be any depet no pack up, it gives you energy, goes into the mitochondria, just like a fuel, petrol, gives the car energy to go. Cells say we are body meaning 75 trillion cells in here glucose in order to function. But 1 glass of glass contains 120 calories, 60 calories, glucose, 60 calories, fructose, fructose is the worst poison that human beings can put into their mouth. Glucose goes into the cells and America, goes into your brain. Bacteria kura wuyemuno. One dozen kura chain, 73, 75 trillion cells. Yeah, one able to make us function well. One minute fructose, they go straight into the liver, 100%. They cause more damage. And they cause metabolic syndrome. Yeah, they are holding diabetes, fructose, heart attack, and without fructose. High blood pressure, obesity, they say. You monitor to send you being acquainted to ask questions. When take the 1970s, near Mammy and said be happening, President Nixon, USA. Not over yet election. Now, no way I feel it, no constant treasurer, agricultural minister, and say, Ma Adriana may problem, my end. Fine way, aber my Adriana cheap, na nipa votraman. About the same time in the 70s, Saga University in Japan. One invented a DB nipa or invented high fructose corn syrup and what that's what he has. Japan's way of paying us back for the hydrogen bomb. So high fructose corn syrup cheaper now the Fred Yanibia and Manayede. So far orange juice, sucrose 100 as 100% here. Glucose pie 98% nede sweetness. High fructose corn syrup near 120% and fructose near 174% sweeter. And you would it Freddy anymore. And manipa pesi a better a year one day. Most importantly, as I addictive. And the next in can say, Mumpedia near be cheaper and high fructose corn syrup invented in German was cheaper than sugar. Now scientists differ and we are nibia yedie. Unko grocery store. Now we are near Guhona, by 98% and fructose from. Fructose is the most deadly food. It's a poison. A core liver and core cell be me damage liver. And until a manipa, one time near fruit tree. The one a metabolic syndrome. A inflammation. Yeah, dear beada is caused by inflammation, heart attack, diabetes. No, right. Say, for the past 20 years. Nipa wa American, a man again 335 calories more. They consume that. Teenagers 174 and a member 165. And unti a manipa ye wo wi asese say no ye didi more ni gain weight is more. Why say aduane has been there all the time now the past 20 years ye didi more. Ye corn fructose no. E ye niam bebre se ne ye behu no. So wo betena aduane ho se wo di a wo me kakra no na enzyme be leptin a catch the wo brain say says I know what meant in money debut. All of a sudden, that brain now shot off at the end of your debut. Fructose idea warrior and so destroys our hormone. Perfectly umoja. To be dear man neck nipenia did 25% more. You gain weight more. Now with all the disease, no one move frasia the frasa coca-cola. They are not interested in us. They want the children to be hooked onto the taste of it and the addictive power of the corn fructose, so that they will have more years to drink it, make them richer and richer. Certain is that those Coca-Cola that come to the third world, they double the dosage. In most of the other worlds, they can monitor and do tests to see that no, there is too much fructose in here. Take your Coca-Cola back. Ghana doesn't care either way, and most other countries. And we're addicting our children. We have blow in the mind. At the end, they say, and he'll be addicted for the rest of his life. At the end, be at the grocery store, Accra Mall, Kumasi Mall, Yenia, fact, idea, instead of the Bacodium, Aqua Codidra, pay fresh fruits, near payable for me. Yeah, vegetarian cry, as I say, we are eating high level of corn and fructose. Cornflakes in breakfast cereals, you be a hokra na corn, me be any. For them to me hydrate is adian. Then I'm saying chicken tea, a fra a biani biada, and a moshi. Syrup in Yania who do one milk who do I nina corn fruit high fructose corn syrup. Even soup ya a wakam a biani beer anywhere on my preservoir. Sardin a binim, Usha. We are wounded on my siachron if it's a breed beer and they are trying to hide it. So we are nipa ultimate reading labels and alcohol sugar content and no what right. And you are all factory which may suggest the new name be a debasha one nipa nantiasian. One more reward you. And say panel 28 different types of bread. Yeah, go grocery store. No, 35 different ideas, only 2 pet. And corn syrup or fructose no. Yeah, fab a situation pea man because pan away there yet. One more nipa ya tested tasting and who said this level and then nipan by one friend a blessed point. One with their friend we are nina. The biada ya nipa bekwan and sat the ashana. Now fructose no free a yamena boy. The baby pineapple will be, orange will be. We are banning in a fructose woman. When you me, now body me, cause a boy, me, Jenna Walker say, cobra, poison, or what poison, no be woman, but our the right compartment. Yeah, me here for body process, team commit. Just if the hawk body and circle. We have a branch original where they blow high rise down with a dynamite. If you have dynamite in your car boot and you don't protect it well, the car will go up in flames. Abrosensi when he can bring it down with the dynamite. Draining go from tremendous power. But so one more transport to dynamite, they cushion it. God and his wisdom has cushioned the poisons of fructose in the fiber. So long as the fruit is in its fiber, it is safe to eat. When you take it to the factory and process it and take the fructose out, what they come on, there's no poison. Yeah, it's so dangerous. Said no. 99% of all the diseases, yeah, it has its origin. What we are seeing high is caused by inflammation. Fructose is the one that starts the inflammation. It is killing more women than men these days. Heart problem. And when you say, canana breast cancer, and they come more today, heart problem is killing women 13 times more. The sad thing is that even the women, 50% will die without any warning that they are sick. 71% of all the women don't have the same symptoms that men have when their hearts are failing. And yet very dangerous for the women. And I'm sorry fructose inti. Send me my statistics again. Memma a Ghana a deep calories about 174% more. Young people about 200, women 335. What does corn fructose do to the body? Yeah, so it is so dangerous. One has the endothelial nitric oxide synthase, enzyme B1, and then the boa perfect circulation. And then the blood vessels relax, endothelial nitric oxide synthase. Fructose, once you drink a can of Coca-Cola, go straight and block that enzyme. And therefore, the blood vessels will stay constricted and cause high blood pressure all the time. That is what is killing our young people these days. Says you are as old as your blood vessels. This is a typical blood vessel. The inside of the lining of the blood vessel, any artery, is called the intima, tunica intima, internal membrane. That is what helps the whole blood vessels to relax because of nitric oxide. That is what fructose hates. It will go and destroy the smooth lining of all the blood vessels and prevent it to relax, to drop the blood pressure. When we say blood vessel, there were several layers to make a media. This is a typical picture of a blood vessel, and the endothelium, the inside one, the elastic layer, the muscle layer, and the external collagen fiber. One of the most important of all is the lining. When I discovered nitric oxide, won Nobel Prize. It's a bois to relax blood pressure. Now, blood pressure drowning, that is where it's going to work. And opinion maayete koi. So obenoma draw die, and ye obekono ko clean the blood vessels. No wa relax no. Say ofa blood pressure draw, and I want you to listen to me carefully. And you will continue to drink fructose, whether it's in orange juice, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, you're wasting your time. The blood pressure medication is supposed to relax the blood vessel to lower your blood pressure. The fructose is supposed to block the endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that will cause it to relax so that your blood pressure will stay high. Obenum blood pressure draw bukitima. Now for one Coca-Cola drinker, you have canceled everything and more people are dying. But this part is even more important. You look at these blood vessels. The blood is flowing through this smoothly. Fructose has the ability to split the lining into two so that any cholesterol or fat that you eat will go and bulge or hide underneath here. Arterial blockage. It is the fructose that will split all those layers into pieces. It can split this one from that one, and the cholesterol will go and hide in there to cause more problem. 90% of all the heart attack is not caused by the cholesterol, but the tear of the lining, as you see here. The blood is flowing through this smoothly. Fructose will separate this from that, and cholesterol will go and hide underneath to cause the bulge. As you're looking, will cause this bulge and close the way. This is the process, how it splits, and the foam cells, cholesterol and all the others, go and hide and cause the bulge. So instead of getting a smooth vessel to flow for the blood flow, it will bulge here. If you sneeze, or the force of the blood flowing through this will tear the lining, which is only one cell thick, and it will start bleeding into your own arteries. 90% of all heart attacks are caused by this, because the endothelium has been weakened by fructose. It is highly complex, but cholesterol will only kill about 10% of people. 90% of all people who will die from heart attack is caused by drinking orange juice that has high fructose. As soon as you put in your mouth Coca-Cola or any of these soft drinks, the fructose will go and block an enzyme called uric acid. The body cannot handle the uric acid. It will give you two diseases, gout, and the second disease is high blood pressure. That will kill you for sure. It's a very complex metabolic road. But God in his mercy has done something for us. This is a picture of a tongue. You can see tiny little holes in this girl's tongue. You magnify it, and you see that there are holes. There are some bacteria that live here. They have their houses, their kitchen, their living room, their TV room, all in these holes. God knows that we need the nitric oxide more than anything else. The leaves have the ability to draw these chemicals, natural enzymes from the sun. When you put these leaves in your tongue and you're chewing, those cells under your tongue hiding in those tiny little holes have the ability to convert the enzymes into nitrates. The nitrates in these green leaves or whatever color leaves is converted by those tiny little creatures into nitrites before you swallow it. I'm showing you these spinach. They are very rich in nitrates that they absorb from the sun. You chew it in your tongue. That's why you shouldn't be swallowing your food. Chew it so that those bacteria can convert the nitrates into nitrites. And then you swallow it, the food into your stomach. There is another set of bacteria that convert the nitrites into nitric oxide. It is the nitric oxide that will keep your blood vessels healthy. They will prevent stiffness in your veins. They will dilate your vessels and drop your blood pressure. They will prevent arterial thickening, prevent blockages, prevent smooth migration, and they will destroy the foam cells that the fructose have allowed to go and cause the blockage. Nitric oxide is perhaps one of the most needed things, and that's why God in his mercy has given to us. We human beings need to eat to live. Chew your food to convert the nitrates from the leaves into nitrites before you swallow it. And when it gets into the stomach, the bacteria will convert it into nitric oxide, and it will help you. Avoid these kind of foods. Oily food, fish food, fowl, chicken, meat, dairy products, sugar, caffeinated drugs, and so on. If there is time, we can get into that. Perfect health depends on perfect circulation. When you eat any of these food, this is what happens. They contain these two enzymes, carnitine and lecithin. Once they get into your stomach, the bacteria there convert the chicken and those fowl meat into TMAO, some special enzyme. And the only thing this enzyme will do is to destroy your arteries and cause blockage sooner or later, cause this tear, which will kill 90%. Today, you and I can agree and to say that from now on, I'm going to make my heart proof for heart attack. So long as you have a strong endothelium, you will never have heart attack. It will not tear. If you boil any vegetable for about 5 to 7 minutes, and you add balsamic vinegar to it, chew it in the morning for breakfast, chew it in the mid-breakfast, mid-afternoon, mid-evening, in the evening, they go and do one thing. Vegetables strengthen the lining and prevent it from tearing. 90% of all cardiac events originate from this tear. Make your heart attack proof by strengthening your endothelium. Boil any vegetable, contumely, whatever it is, add balsamic vinegar. These are articles confirming that olive, soybeans, palm oil intake have a similar detrimental effect over the endothelial function and not may lead to heart attack. Nitric oxide does a lot of things. Yamobonito, but metabolism is very, 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 very complex. Fructose will wipe out the uric acid and cause these things to happen. You need a healthy endothelial lining. So fructose na ɛwɔ juice mu no so. The first thing they will do is to increase your bad cholesterol, low density lipoprotein. Those are the ones that will go and split the lining of your arteries and allow the foam cells to go and collect there. That is all that fructose will do. Sugar, when largely eaten, is worse than eating meat. And today, our women are dying. Akwara was ne mami wo no free school aba. Wonim hwe. Nka mama na anu aduane ama me. Dem idea yare a wo benya ho kakra tutu. Bankwara no mama no yare a se fie ho nyina. Ono ada ho wonim se wo bewu. Anase no ho fa no. Akwara no so cannot understand se ne mama yare. All because of refined sugars, processed sugars. Normally say, it's no use taking blood pressure medication and drinking those fructose. Ubanum blood pressure drug, bokiti makura is useless. They say you are canceling the effects. And this is the endothelia, one of the richest men in the world. And I'm sure by now she must have a high blood pressure. But the very thing he's doing now will cancel out. High fructose will inhibit satiety. What it means is that the enzyme that will tell you that you're full, don't eat anymore, it will wipe it out. So you don't know when to stop eating. It is the leptin resistance. So we didn't hamburger, Burger King, now juice they will eat twice as much. So they don't know when they have had enough. The leptin has been knocked out, and that is what fructose does. There are about 8,500 different chemicals that can damage the liver that you can trace to fructose in the orange. God put it there. In his wisdom, he knows why they are there to help us to function, but take it out of its fiber medium and it becomes the worst chemical. That's why Ellen G. White, on the inspiration, told us that from the light given me, when sugar is largely eaten, is worse than meat. It causes obesity because the leptin is knocked off. You don't know when to stop eating. It causes diabetes, inflammation. It causes heart problem. 9-year-old destroy his life completely. And one thing you want to avoid is to get your stomach in this way, and you're deadly to heart problems. Sugar clogs the system. It hinders the working of the living machine. Cancer how the sugar clogs the system. Sugar and they split it layers and my cholesterol the block away. There are many things I can't for sugar. Ellen G. White on the inspiration, Counsels and Diet wrote, cake, sweet pudding, pastries, jellies, jam, in which milk, egg, and sugar are the chief ingredients, taken together should be avoided. Afa milk diagu kokum, no afa citre, no afa kosuya should be avoided under inspiration. Sad story in Counsels and Diet. There was one case in Michigan County. The individual was a very noble man. He stood 6 feet. Ellen G. White wrote this, and was of fine appearance. I was called to visit him in his sickness. He was eating large quantities of sugar. I asked him why he did this. He said that he had become a vegetarian and his food did not satisfy him simply because his wife did not know how to cook. He died a victim of poor cooking. Counsels and Diet said, take the children to the kitchen at once and teach them how to prepare a wholesome meal. Important to say, how to cook a good meal. Baby now will be a vegetarian. And the beans no book what we are no the internet to say, by and Kwana no one by Jenum, senior young Kwana Kamikora Minyebi. It says he died a victim of poor cooking by his wife. Let the Adventist women take their children to the kitchen at once and show them how to prepare a wholesome meal. The role of fructose in cancer. There are glucose receptors on the fat. All he's saying is that we are a cancer. Glucose receptors will say cancer. The more sugar will be, the less now be. First of all, it will cause you to get cancer. Time for questions. But not only that, we are a cancer. Now we know glucose, fructose now, and wow. So the idea baby was to get rid of all sugar drinks. Eat your carbohydrates when it's inside the fiber. If you say, I mean, it's a fructose poison, no, it's a dynamite. So one protecting old fiber, the result will be worse. In America, quantity needed 300 milligrams of fiber a day, and they did 2. If it's a fiber, no? So person previous level the they call Accra or Cotona. Fiber or more in a year. Where then now the fiber I shall freeze them. And yet, papa, they are difficult. In order to export food, they've taken the fiber out to make it the fructose more deadly. Instead of 300 milligrams a day, we're only eating 2. Yeah, and then after that, in more modern set, they may increase the fiber intake. Also, continue to do exercise, reduce stress. When now you're diabetic, conante, it will put the sugar into your muscles and improve your condition. Dr. Crow, Cincinnati, 42 years old. Well, we are surgery, what you watch on your nose. And the cocoa, when you heart attack. One cocoa, yeah, at the end. Na, should I say, a woman, but one on the heart, a block the distal left anterior descending artery, when a friend widow mekan, or only the other happened, so her came out to the terminal, and you cannot do heart transplant on this. So they told him to go home and die at the age of 42. And Dr. Esselson got hold of him and put him on strict vegetarian diet. 2.5 years later, this is the same artery. See how much it has improved. What we're saying is that it doesn't matter what your condition is. A wise man sees danger coming, does something about it. Changing maybe we are sitting ma move faster. And the rich ram was a panini quay or call natural remedy root juices ya or no me, then the pressure but from chance and call medications as well. Say to vagina market, not blood pressure number. Run here can say in order to clean your arteries, near my pee or what betting aboa. The bene share lemon in the morning. Now the garlic turmeric, so benya cayenne pepper shishino, the bifra, and a black pepper, a ginger. Now one eventually a big clean or arteries, we can in albums a beboa in many ways. Turmeric even nim said the brewofia was learned to use these ideas. It will help us and avoid these kind of meats. If you say it cancels out every effort to be a way. A woman said one by surgery, I see they will be called India, they will be called South Africa. That's all they're going to do. They're going to put a stent in that small vein. But stent and prolong will be alive. Among a few months, I'm what believe it. And once in a best block of you. India, chronic and any heart surgery in a warm way. And now see a befa, Tina or Hannah Chanina, near their cotua, or heart and JB now block. Media Koran and so say, who share heart yet. This is the anterior descending artery, Noah, widow mekan. How much Corella straw and as a fat, they take it to block this thing completely. Where's a block their instant death? Circumflex is kakre in Ketesa. This is the size of the actual heart. Omayin free her, the Yankofe in Yanni, Senia, the am I going backwards or forwards? Anyway, if it's a beer, the Second World War, Norway, German for no coho. From 1930s, Norway for a with heart attacks, German for alcohol on say free necro, Nantrian and Cocono who be a bookmark the boat you. Yet my soldier phone. One CC Nina. Heart attack, I won't no way drop all the way down. A drop ya and one could bet my bones are. One muja and Nami no one muji to cook in her manner. Second World War Chairman. German folk were signed one man and 3 hours back to where they started. And the enemy and said it can be done. With exercise, where London subway, one might come Boston, and a driver for the conductors. And one mostly they're from Jamaica, the same background, eat about the same food. One more who said the drivers, bus drivers, and train drivers are dying twice as much as the conductors. Why? Because the drivers are sedentary, Stefano, while the conductors are going up and down. They all have the same background, so exercise is very, very crucial. And for the sake of your mother's immunity, my mom than said, the boy, and mommy end up with this sliding. I'm not sure if I can bring it on. What? Well, next time, Baba Modern say, be sure. Auntie, may the best here for the meantime. Will be a question that it may be, sir. And run a question be by, so what about triglycerides? I mean, how can we improve those? And all those heart enzyme testing, changing your diet and sticking to it, and cutting these sugars out of your way will do wonders. Okay, the basic here. Paying for, so will be a question.
Doctor. Hello.
Mama.
Doctor.
But talk this old question. IT for Mama Kwama. Depend me some question.
No, but show me to maybe some question.
Mama B, no what try so will be some question. No sentence.
Yeah, me too, baby in Canada, but I don't think so.
What? Okay.
Okay. Dog the deacon, the rade asset. My question is, said the worker said we should be avoid the sugar. It made a replace honey. Abra Mijai a situated, no. Why is there be a difference between honey and sugar? And nay, honey, I you know, and I said any day okay for us. And I'm a second question. Some person be a juicer. How many fruits are meet me are combined? I meet media, and I said it doesn't matter, say a beer 10 and not 6, and I say, yeah, mekanina a boom, me that say.
Hana culture say sugar is different from honey. But anyway, ubetimi adi sugar na honey na in moderation. Just be aware at it. Now what you use food as your medicine. Ellen G. White on the inspiration can say, yeah, salad there. Yes, Sanya near my baby from whoever was it 4 or 6. If he said a beer and a chemistry. So we'll share on the microscope. Quania cells now one mitochondria. Factory new chemical science elevator. One me wait and some kakrebi so much. No one be a kotoha. No one may wait the eye way net process no cost. Oko fat food supplements. I have 20 times the overdose. Now say chemistry in the same way. And find we are needing her at any given time. And the white cancer 4 or 6 will be sufficient at any given time. But person come has a sugar honey dear. But the meaning is that so we are ready minimize but maybe our China as one of these days will see a vision. And no mean I in say will be bowa. Yeah, a chinwa to ho petre. Now bakosto akoto cough mission, so what you try Jenny now for honey. Now they go chance me now the Jane and gum the sea ho my dear chin. But when so on honey I say you be cough makes a beer and why effective for channel. Be beer and a time one will show bring results. Richard Apayan sir.
No, that's it. And I'm present bisa say often to say be advanced word now. I know the all fruits and vegetables now normally almost the expiry date at home best before that, even all the fruits and vegetables now I mention. Now say me work garden kitchen be women feature and I'm a farm sir. Now me harvest fruits now me come back say me kotoa. Sometimes we be person turn do na just for other reasons. COVID by say because of food ration, we be cut shop and now cut up fruits and vegetables. No, but the man say who say contumely it is best before 3 days, and I say ginger best before 7 days. See my same be no because what outside there you are fortunate you see the expiry date, so you live within. But so be a okotono katamantu jomo and agbo market no. Obey saying who expiry date of the fruits and vegetables.
Many say expiring date near very important. So koto so be a sunflower seeds and that's a near manual. A bit me at now for 2 years. But what they grew, the canicum now yamua. Na inflamma boswa exodise it. Now what's saying? And tis a war near my Miane near market and Ketisana obedient, yes, over preserve on was stating no one a free seed in the one, Nasa Flavian in the moon. A near expiration date. This our process. It's our one contemporary idea. You have to eat it at any given time. One more process no heating or factory. I destroy near maybe brave. If you say, wouldn't come to races now 1. Wouldn't your benefits? I insist still a year change. Say walk on a Mali. Contemporary huru faswa. At certain point, I destroy vitamins nipple, but a jack kakrawum, yao, it may last as a continuous young woman. Yes, I will be kipu. Seats in nuts in the man in their natural state. War drum or pimsa we here. And son away man, that's what process it. Now, oxidation and fast one said. I think it's I hope it's my answer our question. Obesity besides obey then what control cholesterol first of all and function one body no one can produce cholesterol be out here. Be cholesterol be out of fat dietary cholesterol na excess body me here. Plant food beer does not produce cholesterol. Just animal food. The only way the best way to get rid of it is in fat cholesterol. And one and fear for no ye cook more man or moose. One must say more cooking idea, but we will leave something in you and also be cool beer. Yes, the more that's a moon here. Don't put those things in your mouth, it will kill you. You may have to super. But so much man can. Okay. What the problem in here not be beer off. I think the Martina
Pacho, yet won't.
Question for fraud.
Me pacho, a question for auditorium no mun till be sir.
Okay. Well, now, so how can you deal with the cholesterol? I'm saying, don't put it in your mouth and then spend the time to get rid of it.
Me pacho, obi bisa question or auditorium no mun ti or Becca says is here. Elder, you can go ahead. Doc, pacho, what's any question no?
Mantevi.
Okay.
Tia na kitram.
There may be some say oils, no. I say you free diet, no palm oil can one.
So we are idea. Use it in moderation. Oh, ne can be said Dr. SL Stein. I mean, you are oil Diana Kakra. Dr. Esselson ran some Kakrano or call Cincinnati Hospital. And was it one my young open heart? Na mama want draw one a be one month for 1 million, mammy. Na men quatra, baby. The man 18 patients or babacum. After 20 years, me and Casamena mamma nakasa. Mamma was your mammy. 2 months is a min coffee and cool. And now Dr. Esselson, the family. Dr. Esselson, watch your book, no watch any or was it you want free oil beer, including biscuits. If you say, yeah, biscuit, the butterfly. Was it 8 years before Sana Mekoji one? No one man 49 different heart attacks or heart events. 12 years later, Bakupekura is 0. Because you say you want in every oil, so was a man yahi. Oil Kuanam you want free so. I'm a 1 man in them. Say ye vegetable oil, say ye animal oil. And tis a way are now pursuing in there. And will come all kinds of oils come. Oil when she nim say my be an dead. Nanso mutai become. Until Leviticus can say, baby, I'm biano, don't eat fat. If he said it will make a disease current in your blood. Okay, Mama, question Ben you.
Obviously, please, organic juice. Will you recommend that when we go for them?
Yes, one away juice, no. Yes. But a better so be juice. And it's fiber. To the choir of a fast juice. So obey yam in the fiber medium, no. Yes. But we'll take it dynamite out of its fiber. And then that fructose be dangerous.
Okay. Thank you. Pacho Obisusi, please, what's the best diet for a patient with kidney issues with regards to the topic?
And me kidney issue maybe. Yeah, na media. Ma wadia nenya more raw. China yanuma. But nam and this idea in the American you cannot afford. And now uric acid is also very high. If it's a kidney intimate security, uric acid into a bit me when you go to the American. This is not a time who fat near neck regard to the neck questions. I coffee side juices maybe animal. I'm gonna shoot to uric acid very high. So with the kidney problem, you have to take your kind more serious than anybody else in the church. and let your food be as raw, much and cooked food.
Pacho, the next question here, please. How best can a typhoid carrier find a permanent solution to cure him or herself?
Because a permanent position, what do you mean? You say permanent position.
No,
What?
permanent solution. Solution.
Okay.
Yes. Typhoid carrier find a permanent solution to cure
Name of
him.
messages compare doctor when you're interested in your case. Now, when an internal or bebo, one minute drugs are it may remove thyroid, says in typhoid. Now, war and as a patient, change your lifestyle. I want to maintain society. If you I'm going to treat the typhoid, we hear expert intervention. When your doctor or you're interested in your case, I'll bet him up. Now, kakra will bet him and say, we are near a weakened immune system. Will be free. So, and ra paniko cancer, mean COVID. But so, and I'm some son in the name of DDNT. My immune system and fibrobiya. Who call hospital with COVID. Doctor be any draw. A draw be any drugstore between. One amount now, send your immune system no very strong to cure you. The same way our typhoid, immune system better to typhoid and as a quicker chain and will be a bad per doctor or more.
Thank you. Pacho, any other question from the auditorium? Okay. Online, so. There is no question to online. Inti. Okay. What final words be?
Final word, Nyame ya domachina ebeshia. Discuss why we sleep.
Okay.
Very interesting topic.
Yes.
Oba pe will become.
Amen. Dr. Nyamisha Obebre, Yedawase for all that you are teaching us. Thank you all for coming and thank you for joining online too. Senator Dr. Kaino, Ochina, we will continue and we will treat the topic how to sleep like a baby. I'm sure you're going to benefit like you've benefited today. Yen Semreno, Yebefre, your pastor, no be share and service so. Before Pastor Bebano, a few announcements. As part of your Health Week program, 6th August, that is this Saturday. This Saturday, you be COVID vaccination after church. After church service, you be COVID vaccination. So there will be COVID-19 vaccination at Sesdak Church premises on 6th August, just this Sabbath. So those of us who haven't taken our first dose, please come. If you haven't taken your second dose too, please come. And those of us who have taken our first and second doses, you need a booster. Please come and take the booster. Okay.
Pachomwa yansori jani ya mompai. Nana nyami yada wasi. Se enumere suno. Wanam Dr. Yeboah achre. Kwaya yebetimi afaswa ebeboa ya pomodin. Yesre epawacho sen sema yesu yaneno. Boa na yentimi endiso. Yesre epawacho se efri hakwe shirae. No china swama ya hodin abetu adisu yaneso. When yesre odoba Yesu Kristo dimo. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Nyamisha yenyina mespa. Si edintitim yo anhwe mene wontem. Amen.
General Nami Generati Abraham Froyi General Nami Generati Abraham Nami Generati what to me for Sefa baby General Nami Cheminyami Woni Bremu Ochimisu